And I hope you all understand why we use correct site. And after we activate localizer from this button, as you remember, we are on VR frequency and then pushing CDI button after setting up the missed approach course. Then we changed our frequency to the localizer after passing heading 154, which is correct site. And when we activate localizer, then our callouts starts. For example, as you see, glide slope alive. One of the callouts that we need to make. Glide slope alive. And let's continue then. Continue turning. First call out. Glide slope alive. And wait for the localizer to move. As you see, our next call out is localizer alive and follow, continue turning and intercept localizer. And by the way, glide slope 1 dot. Check speed, flaps, gear down, taxi light on, engine instruments normal. Before landing checklist complete. Active glide slope 1 dot, my friends. And as you see, continue turning with localizer deviation bar. Yeah, and when it's centered, call out. Localizer establish, runway heading set. What is runway heading? 2, 3, 4 as the localizer course. Localizer capture, runway heading set. And now I am waiting for the glide slope established. It will be at 12 DME, as you see. Now, glide slope establish, start descent. Missed approach altitude set. Which is missed approach altitude? 8,000 feet, as you see on chart. And set altitude 8,000 feet. Here, and inform ATC. Çardak Tower, Tango Charlie Echo Romeo Sierra, ILS, Zulu, runway 23, establish. And ATC inform us, clear to land, runway 23. That's all. These are the callouts during procedure turn. As you see, we are on course 234, 234, check one more. And as you see, we are on glide and descending. As we are approximately 90 knots, your vario must be 550 approximately. But if you descend at 80 knots, then 450 enough. That means if your speed is less, then your vario must be less. Now, as you see, we are a little bit below the glide slope. Can you see it? The action we need to do is not to make a level flight. Just reduce your vertical speed. like this, and wait for the glide slope come center on this line. Don't make aggressive actions when you are making ILS approach. Smoothly, slowly, and make a little correction and wait for it to be corrected. Just reduce it. If it's not enough, make 100 FPM less. And do you remember what I talked at the first lesson? Cross-check. Now I'm checking out the glide slope, my vario. Now it's coming to center, and when it comes center, this 300 will not be enough. So I made the correction, and then I will do my vario 500 again, and then check my course, check my speed, check my bank, continuously check them all. Otherwise, you will miss one of them. If you continue, like, for example, if you make a glide slope mistake, then want to correct it. If you continue looking at here during correction, then you will miss one of them. So now my next call out to make is 1000 call out, which is made 1000 to the runway elevation, field elevation. It is 2770, and we will make this call out at 3770. Understand? Because some of my friends make this call out when it's 1000 to the minimum. There is not this kind of call out, my friends. There is no call out as 1000 to minimum. It is 1000 stable continue approach call out, and it is made when you reach 1002 field runway elevation. Now, as you see, we are a little bit below the glide slope. So I reduce again my vertical speed. And as you see, localizer a little bit right. I'm on left side of localizer. So I correct it immediately, not wait it to come bigger mistake. Make my correction immediately. And now 1000 stable continue approach. Check it from the chart and make 1000 announcement. 1000 stable continue approach. And again, don't let the localizer and glide slope to deviate like this. Immediately increase your vertical speed and turn left immediately. Don't let it miss. Because when you are close to the runway, when you are close to threshold, and it becomes very sensitive, as you see. If you miss, it becomes 1 point, and then that's the reason to start missed approach procedure. So never let it deviate like this. Make your turns or corrections immediately. And as you see, we are coming below, and then make correction immediately. Don't let it go 1 point like this. So 200 to minimum. Call out. And now minimum runway not inside, go around. We couldn't see the runway and missed approach procedure. Now we are climbing on runway heading, positive rate, gear up, and inform ATC, Çardak Tower, going around. And they say, execute missed approach procedure, executing missed approach procedure. After, then taxi light off, then waiting for safe altitude. Now flaps up and set missed approach course. As you see, push CDI button, and now it's here as you see. Then as you see, we passed the VR and turn right to intercept missed approach course. Now landing light off and make your after takeoff checklist. Okay, now we intercept. And now we read again the missed approach procedure. Climb on radial 262 to 6,000 feet within 19 DME. That means, should we go until 19 DME? What do you think?
Hocam, it says within. Yani
Yes.
we shouldn't exceed 19.
That means don't fly more than 19. But if you reach 6,000 feet before this DME, then make your turn into the VR. That means, right? Now it's 6,000 feet, and it's time to turn to over viewer and make homing, right? And I show you how to make homing when we are making SID, and you all understand it as far as I know. Now, I want to show you how to make arc flying here. As you see, there is not arc flying normally, but think that we are going to make 10 DME arc here. How to make 10 DME arc. And we are now on radial 262, and let's go inbound on radial 290. Now we will make a 10 DME arc, and remember from the formula, ground speed divided by 200, remember? And that means, or for category alpha aircraft, 0.5 DME before the arc. So that means I will start my turn to the right at 9.5 DME, and I will show you how to make an arc flying. Okay, now 9.5, and start my turn to the right, approximately 90 degrees. Here I will make, and imagine that we are on this course, and right turn and make arc like this to the right. And inbound we are at 290 from inbound, from 290 radial. And now continue your turn until the RMI needle comes to this white. Let me explain you. Continue your turn. Why did I say approximately 90 degrees? That's why we need to continue turn until this arrow comes to this little white line. And when we complete this turn, then check our distance from the DME from the VR. And it's 10 DME, right? If it's not 10 DME, think it is 9.8, 9.9. That means we are closer than 10 DME, right? And what will be our correction for this? Our correction will be to the left. Why? Because VR is at the right side of aircraft. So in this case, if this is 9.8 or 9.9, to make it 10, just make a straight flight and wait for the DME to be 10. And otherwise, if this DME would be 10.1 or 10.2, more than 10 DME, how to correct it? Just turn to the side of VR. On which side are we? Are on the right side. So that means we need to turn right for correction, approximately 5 degrees. And where should we check it? The RMI needle will come up, approximately 10 degrees. And when we correct and we see 10 DME here, then RMI needle must be on this white line. So now it's 10 DME and we don't need to make any correction right now. So we complete our turn. We start to make arc, and for which purpose can we use this CDI, the green one? For the radial, we finish, we complete, we leave our arc. The radial of inbound course. If there would be a chart, you will see a course like this on the chart. What we said, 290 radial, huh? Right? Radial 290, we will go over VR. And that means our course will be 290, opposite side of 290, what is? $110, right? That's it, our course. Yes, here is the course that we intercept and go over VR. On radial 290, that means course 110. We are going to intercept this. So now we are ready to make arc flying. Now we are on the arc, and as you see, RMI needle is on the right side. Then let's see. Now we fly straight. We make straight flight and make 5 degrees turn to the right. And bring RMI needle 5 degrees over the line. And wait for the needle to come below 5 degrees below the line. As you see, it is 9.9. Don't hurry about anything. Don't worry, and wait for it to become 10. Just wait, and you will see. As you see, 10 DME, and make a right turn until the needle shows the white line again. And by the way, other calculation, other formula, do you remember? Ground speed divided by 200 multiply 60 divided by DME. and the result was 3 degrees for the 10 DME arc. Do you remember it from formula? 3 degrees before the intended, which radial we want to intercept, 3 degrees before. And the radial we want to intercept is 110, the course. And how will I know that I am 3 degrees to this radial or this course? As I told you before, and as you can remember, each point was 5 degrees, remember? Now we are 5 degrees to this course. So if I continue flying, this deviation bar will approach, and when it touch to the front side of this aircraft model, and then that means that we are 3 degrees to the course. Let's see it. Now, as you see the course indicator moving, then it's 4 degrees. Now, as you see, it's 3 degrees, and it's time to start turn. And as you see, that's the reason why we calculate it all. As you see, we directly intercepted the course we want to intercept. And now we are flying over the VR on course 110 and on radial 290, right? And now ATC,
Hocam, what happened to
Çardak
speed?
ATC asked, Econometer, beg your pardon?
Speed.
Yes, I know, because I want to make something quicker to save time.
It can go like that then.
That's
Tamam,
why I
tamam.
increase the speed. So now ATC ask, what's your intention? What are you planning to do, right? So now we check, as I explained you before, we check our fuel condition and weather condition. Is there an improvement of visibility at the airport of destination? And also ask for the alternate airport weather, latest weather of alternate airport. Then we make a decision. Then now our scenario, we plan to divert to the alternate, and the alternate airport is Sparta. Okay. Now we plan to divert to Sparta and inform this to the ATC. And ATC ask us to leave VR on radial 140, to be out of control on radial 140. Now, what are we going to do when we reach over VR and to intercept radial 140? Now, as you see, we are over VR. Over VR and continue on radial 140 and call you out of control. We gave information to the ATC and now set course 140. Yes. We set the course 140 and turn heading 140 immediately. And after passing VR, turn to intercept the course. And as you see again, we don't give interception heading not much because we are too close to the VR. And as you see, it comes quickly to the center. Okay, now we intercepted radial 140 and also the course 140 and waiting control. How about the time, my friends?
36.
56, 36.
36.
36, it's earlier now. Okay. Now, my friends, we are on radial 140. Flying outbound from VR. And now I want to show you how to make fix to fix when we are flying from VR. As you remember, we did all the fix to fix examples when we are inbound to VR, remember? Now we are outbound. We are flying outbound from VR, and VR is backside. As you see, we passed over VR, and now we are on radial 140 and now we are on approximately 60 ME. Now, who can calculate which direction to fly to go to Vegut? Think that there's a problem with Isparta Airport, and ATC instruct or ATC ask us to continue to the Vegut and make ILS approach again. Then, which heading should you turn to go to Vegut? Can one of you calculate which heading to fly? Are you all sleeping?
Hocam, ground speed divide 200.
Oh, it is ARC formula, my friends. Oh, you mixed up all the things. That's good. Yes, as far as I see, I will do it again. And you will watch. Okay, now we are on radial 140. And we want to fly to the Vegut point. And it is also at the on the radial 0.55 and 12 dme, right? Now, as I showed you before, now our radial is this time like this. Do you remember the previous one? Our radial was here. But now this time, as you see, our radial is in front of us on 140. This is our radial. And the radial we want to intercept is 0.55. Where is it? It's here. As you see, something like this. This is the radial 0.55. And the DME of Vegut is, as you remember, it is 12. And the DME of me is, as you see, it's 6 DME. And to intercept, to go to Vegut point, I must first place the Vegut point and where the aircraft is on this screen, on this HSI. So, which is the bigger? Which is bigger? 12 or 6? 12.
Vegut
12 DME, Vegut. Vegut is far than my position. And 12 DME. Then I will accept this semi-radius of this circle as 12 DME. I mean, from the center of this circle here to this point where the Vegut is, it is 12 DME from here to here. And now I will place my aircraft according to this information. And my aircraft is on this radial, but 6 DME. If this is 12 DME, then here is 6 DME approximately, right? And now I place my aircraft and Vegut. Now I will put my pen on the screen or make a straight line from the position of my aircraft to the Vegut, like this. Like this. And then make a parallel line from center. And then the heading that I read here is the heading I should fly to go to Vegut. Is this complex or you understand at last after 5 times explanation? I hope. We'll see when you come to the simulator, right? Anyway, I hope you understand, my friends. I wanted to show you one more time. Now I clear, then continue flight. So now we can be out of control from Isparta, control from Çardak and contact Isparta, clear contact Isparta, bye-bye. Then change my frequency to the Isparta and change my VR frequency. Here is Isparta charts and make Isparta VR set Isparta VR 117.5. Set it. And when I set it, then push the course button and then Isparta Tower, Tango Charlie Echo Romeo Sierra, on radial 250 at 28 DME, 8,000 feet, and request approach clearance. By the way, this is normally the IFR flight level, but when we are making training flights, it is actually the as it was a training flight. Your flight plans are normally VFR flight plans, so your levels will be, I mean, your altitudes will be a VFR altitude. So it is 7,500 feet. And then we continue to Sparta on altitude 7,500 feet. Then, okay, when we talk to Sparta and inform ATC our radial, our altitude and DME, then they say, okay, continue approach. It will be straighten direct approach, direct VR approach to the runway 05. It means, ATC means we are going to make this approach without going over VR, directly establish here. So now we need to calculate again the fix to fix to go this point, my friends. And it is the radial 225, and our radial is already 235. Very close, and that means if we make calculation, that means we need to fly approximately to this direction to intercept it on approximately 13 miles, 12 miles or something. Okay, now we make our setup as we did before. First, like this, and the final approach course 045. As you see, 045. And now we need to calculate top of descent. We start to descend at which DME, and as far as I remember, I explain you how to calculate. We need to be configured 2 miles before the establish, and it makes 1.5 DME to descend 500 feet to descend 7,000 feet, because we establish at 7,000 feet to the viewer. So it makes it takes 1 minute to descend 7,000 feet, and in 1 minute this aircraft flies approximately 1.5 DME. And when we make briefing, after briefing checklist, it takes approximately 1 minute. Then it approximately 16 miles to the VR, our top of descent, something like this. We make this calculation in our mind, and we should explain to the instructor. Understand? And that means we will start descent at 16 miles. And after that, we complete our briefing. But before we start briefing, we should also calculate VDP. Now we make one more calculation for VDP for this example. Can we do it? Let's do it together, my friends. Now, remember, divide this, do it with your mobiles. Divide this 1074 with this 300. Can you see it? Now more clear, I think, huh? 1074 divide by 328. What is the result of the
3.27.
beg your pardon?
3.27.
3.3 approximately,
Yeah,
right?
3.3 approximately.
3.3. And it is, by the way, it is 3 DME from threshold, right?
Yes.
3 DME from threshold. And as I'm making a VR approach, I'm using VR DME. And that means my VDP calculation will be 3.3 minus 0.6. And it is, the result is 2.7 is my VDP. Okay. Yes. Now I know my VDP and I will be at 3,900 feet at this DME. 3.7, correction, 2.7 DME, right? 2.7 DME. I will be at 3,900 feet. And also one more thing, as you see, we made a more interception than we need. So the course already missed. So I need to intercept it and don't let it miss. Then make my turn. And when I intercept the VR course, then set runway heading. And as I finished my calculation and now set the minimum. What is my minimum for VR approach? 3,900 feet. Let's set it as I showed you before, 3,900. Yes, here is the minimum. And I will make a briefing before I start my approach. And as you see, it is 16 miles. Now I start descent. First set 7,000 feet. And before start descent, I need to make a approach checklist. Mixture reach, selector boat, accelerating for EC briefing complete. Landing light on. And now start descent to the 7,000 feet, which is on the chart. And now I can make also before landing checklist. because I have to finish all the checklist and the procedures before 2 miles before this DME 11.4, and it makes 13.4. I must be configure and complete all the procedures. Now I complete my descent, and now I can make my before landing checklist. Flaps, taxi light, engine instruments normal, before landing checklist complete, right? And now we are on course and we are on at the altitude, correct altitude, correct flying altitude. Now waiting for the 11.4 DME. Okay, now we are on course and waiting for 11.4 DME to establish, and let's start. .4 and now start the descent at 5 FPM approximately, and set missed approach altitude. This is also a call out. Set missed approach altitude and advise ATC. Sparta Tower, Tango Charlie, Echo Romeo Sierra. We are Zulu runway 05, establish. And they say, okay, continue approach, clear to land. Or continue approach, report runway inside. Continue approach, report minimums. Something like this. Okay. Now we are on course, but need a little correction to left. And now we make our descent according to this descent path, recommend altitudes. Now we are approaching 9 DME and we must be at 5,180 feet at 9er DME. 6,180. Let's check. 180 at 9er DME. Yes, now it's 9er DME and 180, a little bit over the path. And also we have to pass 8.3 DME at 6,000 feet. 8.3 DME at 6,000. 8.3, check for 8.3, 8.4, and 8.3 at 6,000. You see it? We are on path. And the vertical speed is also good. Now, we continue descent until minimums, and our minimums is 3,900 feet till minimums, and we want to be at 3,500 feet at 2.7 DME, right? This is our VDP. And now one more scenario. Echo Romeo Sierra, due to wind direction, your landing runway direction changed to the runway 23. Now our landing runway will be 23. And what are we going to do in this condition? Now we need to make some corrections to our setups and our briefing. Now the VDP calculation is cancelled because we are going to make a circle to length approach, right? So now our minimum is also changed to the 4,200 feet. The minimum of circle to length, as you can see here, 4,200 feet. Then first set it here. Here is our minimum set, and back to timer. Yes, now it's ready, and our new minimum also set. And what else? Let's read it. Circle to length caution. Unless otherwise advised by ATC, the north side of the airport is forbidden, not authorized for circle to length. That means we are going to turn left or right for making circle to length.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But
As
no
the
single
north
dot
side
left.
of the airport is not authorized, so we are going to make the circle to length maneuvers from the south side of the airport. That means we are going to turn to the right at minimum. Okay. So now we know that we are going to make a right turn, and our minimum is 4,200 feet. When we descend to 4,200 feet, check outside, and if we see runway in sight, then we start visual approach. But if you remember from our lesson, the point we start to turn to the downwind is 1.68 DME from threshold. Do you remember this? Circle to length procedure from threshold 1.68 DME. I will start to turn to the right. And that means I will make my turn to the right at DME of, word DME of what? I mean, at which DME I see here, I will start to turn to the downwind. Can you calculate it?
Uh, 1.8.
Here is threshold.
0.6 then.
Here is my threshold. And here I will start to turn at the distance of this distance, 1.68 miles. 1.68 miles, approximately 1.7, okay? 1.7. Anas talking to me or someone else?
Yes.
I don't hear you. Okay. Now I will start my turn at the DME of 1.7 approximately to the threshold. I mean, this distance is 1.7 DME. So at 1.7 DME to the threshold, what will I see here? on my
1.1. No?
What?
1.1.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's again elementary, not elementary, primary, beginner level of mathematics, my friends. This distance is 1.7 and war from threshold is 0.6. 1.7 minus 0.6 makes 1.1. That means when I see 1.1 DME here, 1.1 DME here, that means I am 1.7 to the threshold. So I will start my turn at 1.1 DME to the right. And all this clear for you? I guess it. Okay, then let's continue approach. Okay, if you understand all. Okay, now we are on path, descending, approaching, and we'll descend until 4,200 feet. It's our minimum. Options starts. And I will check my path also when I'm descending. At 6 DME, 515. And now I can increase my vertical speed because I'm a little bit higher than. I'm on my course, waiting for minimum. And at 4 DME, I will be 4,460. You see it? DME 4, 4,450. As you see, it is on path. And 200 to minimums. It is a call out also. 200 to minimum. $100 to minimum.
Yeah.
And minimum. Run inside, continue approach. Call out. And do not descend below the minimum.
Hocam, in minimum straight flight or?
Yes, make straight flight on course and wait for the 1.1 DME, which we calculate for starting circle to land. Maintain 4,200 feet on course until
Minimum.
1.68 DME to the threshold, and it makes for this approach 1.1 to the VR. So I am waiting for 1.1 DME. At 1.1 BME, turn right heading 0900, which is 45 degrees to the right. And when the wings level, start your timer for 45 seconds. And now 45 seconds. Now turn left heading 044, which is runway heading. That we want to fly parallel to runway. 044, runway heading. And also make your timer reset your timer for next time check. And as you see here, in a real flight, you need to check your A-beam. From left window of your aircraft. But here we have to check it from here. Anyway. Now waiting for the runway 23 threshold, passing A-beam threshold of runway 23. Now we will make one more time check here and start descent. But before we do this, now calculate how many seconds should we fly after A-beam threshold. Now calculate. Here is the height from the runway elevation, right? This is our altitude to 4,200 feet. But this is the height from runway, correct? And it is 1365. Do you remember 100 feet, 3 seconds for each 100 feet? And it makes approximately 13.6 multiplied 3. 39, 41, approximately 42 seconds. Did you understand how we do it? Our height and fly 3 seconds for each 100 feet, and it makes approximately 41 or 42 seconds. Is that clear? Yes. Good. Now, when we reach the beam threshold, when we see threshold of runway 23 on our left window, then start descent approximately 5 FPM, 500 FPM, and start time, and make your descent approximately 42 seconds. And here you know how we calculate it. Your height, and for each 100 feet 3 seconds, then it makes approximately 42 seconds, then descent 42 seconds on this heading. Yes, 42 seconds. Nobody tell me it's 42. Okay, firstly, make a, it's still paused. So make before turning, make a straight flight first. Options, pause, don't start descent. Start timer again. And then turn approximately 90 degrees to the left and check runway threshold from left window and complete your turn accordingly. Yes, we see the runway threshold, and then continue turning to the left. And my friends, don't forget that this is a visual approach, visual pattern. At any part of this approach, if you lose visual contact to runway, you have to make a missed approach. Yes, now yes, as you see, we are approaching on final to the runway 23. And that's all, my friends.